Hello you beautiful wonderful human beings, I'm here with the Blackberry Key2 LE, new light edition version of the Blackberry Key2 flagship phone, which we have here on the right, and I'm just going to do a quick side-by-side comparison of the hardware, the software, all of the various features, so you know what the difference is between them and which one might be best for you. And don't forget to poke the old subscribe button and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest mobile tech. Cheers! And first of all, as you can see, stick them side by side, and the Blackberry Key2 and Key2 LE are kind of hard to tell apart. That's kind of why I've used the different desktops on them both, just so I can be sure in my head which one is which. As you can see there, they're effectively the same dimensions, more or less the same weight. The LE is slightly lighter at 156 grams compared with 168 grams the original Key2. And of course they're both rocking that customary QWERTY keyboard down below, with of course the built-in touch buttons for the navigation as well just above. We flip them around, they both rock a soft touch rear end as well. It's got this nice sort of textured finish to it, really helps out with the grip. When it comes to the colour schemes, they do differ, however. The original Key2 can be picked up in either silver or black. This is the black model, as you can see, very traditional dark blackberry finish. The Key2 LE actually can't be picked up in black. You can pick it up in a slate grey or this lovely champagne gold finish, a nice lighter version of it. And you can also grab it in the very snazzy new atomic red, which is certainly very in your face. If we have a tour of the rest of the hardware, you'll see there's absolutely no difference there either. The LE version of the Key2 once again rocks a mottled power button just to help set it apart from the convenience key, which is housed just beneath, rather inconveniently some might say. And of course you've got your elongated volume rocker just above as well. Up top you get a 3.5mm headphone jack no matter which Key2 you grab. The SIM tray is the only thing housed over on this left edge, and then down beneath you have your Type-C USB for charging back up, and some dual bottom firing speakers as well. Sadly you do not get full water resistance with either of these handsets because of course they both got a QWERTY keyboard. Good luck plugging all of those gaps. And speaking of that keyboard, the Key2 LE sports the same key arrangement as the full-sized original Key2. You once again get that handy new shortcuts button that just allows you to basically, if you hold that down and then hit, for instance, B, I've set up as browser, you can then dive between your various apps nice and quick and easy, as long as you actually remember which shortcuts you've set up. It's much quicker and easier than jumping into the recent apps window, which is quite nicely arranged, but at the same time you might be searching around for a while if you've got lots of stuff open, as I do here. You also once again have a fingerprint sensor built into that spacebar as well, and just like with the standard Key2, it's nice and nippy. Just a quick tap of your print to that surface, and as you can see, you're straight into your desktops, no worries. However, while the original Key2 sported a touch-sensitive keyboard, so for instance you could flick through a website just by flicking your finger up and down like so, you don't get any of that functionality here in the Key2 LE. As you can see, not touch compatible at all. But of course it's not exactly a major hardship to reach up here to the screen to scroll about anyway. And to be honest, we were never a massive fan of this autocorrect swipe up feature on the standard Blackberry Key2 either. It's a little bit hit and miss with the sensitivity, so sometimes it just wouldn't register and you'd have to sort of flick up a couple of times in order to get it to work. So again, no great loss that it's not on the Key2 LE. So what about that screen tech? Well, you once again get a 4.5-inch display here on the Key2 LE, just like you do with the original Key2. It's once again a 3:2 aspect ratio, so quite boxy, which isn't ideal when you are watching a bit of Netflix, something like that. It means you get quite thick bars above and below the display. So as you can see there, hopefully just about, you do get some thick letterboxing when you are enjoying a movie, so your actual viewing space is quite compressed. And that'll also mean that playing the likes of PUBG is an absolute pain in the arse as well. That said, the visuals are nice and punchy. That 4.5-inch display sports a sharp 1620 by 1080 pixel resolution, no matter which your choice. So if you dive in nice and close, you'll see that those images are nice and crisp. Make out there the tiny text you can read no problem whatsoever. Logo's nice and sharp as well. The display on the standard Key2 does seem to be a little bit warmer than the display on the Key2 LE, as you can hopefully make out there as well. It's not a massive difference between them, but it is definitely noticeable, and I've just dived into the display settings just to make sure that I haven't accidentally left on a night mode or anything like that, and no, that's all turned off, so it does just seem to be a little bit naturally warmer. You do get a little bit more customization here on the standard Key2 as well. For instance, you can dive into the color section. As you can see there, you've got boosted colors. You can have more natural colors, saturate them, whereas you do not get that option here on the Key2 LE. However, you do get the usual night mode and everything as you would expect. If you just load up a picture on both, you'll see, as you can see there, nice punchy colors pretty much on both of these devices. Some of the more vibrant, vivid hues are shining through slightly more on the Key2 because I've got it on that boosted mode, but honestly there's not a massive amount of difference between it. And as you can see there, nice crisp imagery in both of these Blackberries. If we load up another picture as well, you'll see again sharp visuals, and again those red hues are sort of shining through ever so slightly more on the original Key2, but again there's not a massive amount of difference between them. And of course the software they're running is identical in both cases as well. You get a nice bit of Android Oreo with Blackberry's own overlay slapped on top, and that just adds a whole bunch of bonus features. So of course you've got BBM on there, you've got the excellent Dtek security software suite as well, and as you can see, Dtek just basically keeps tabs on your device, makes sure that no nasty viruses or dodgy apps infiltrate it. You've got plenty of other nifty security features on there too. So for instance, you've got the locker, which basically just has an extra layer of security for any particularly sensitive files that you might have. And as you can see, you can just either verify the fingerprint or set up a password, and that just further encrypts any of your more sensitive bits. You've also got the likes of the redactor, things like that as well, so plenty of stuff in there to keep your sensitive bits confidential. And as usual, of course, you've got the BB Hub, which just gathers together all of your emails, your text, your social media bits, so you've got all of that important stuff all in one place. And on both phones, of course, you've got the productivity tab, which you can just drag out from the edge of the screen at any time. This just shows you exactly what you've got to do today. Again, it gives you fast access to your new emails and notifications and other bits, and also your favorite contacts. The rest of the specs are different, however. Here on the Key2 LE, you get a Snapdragon 636, which is a slightly pared down chipset compared with the 660 found here on the standard Key2. And you also get less RAM in the Key2 LE as well, 4 gigs of RAM compared with the 6 gigs stuffed inside the Key2. Does it make a massive difference? To be honest, not really. Everyday running still seems perfectly smooth here on the Key2 LE. You will see the occasional little stutter and stammer here and there, but on the whole, it enjoys life quite nicely. Especially impressive considering how many bonus features BlackBerry has thrown on there. Dive on into good old Geekbench as well, you'll see, again, not a massive discrepancy between the two. The Blackberry Key2 is only slightly in the lead compared with the LE version. The storage is also different as well. Here on the Blackberry Key2, you get a choice of the 64 or 128 gigs of storage, whereas in the LE version, it's either 32 or 64 gigs. Fear you not though, because both of these Blackberry phones support micro SD memory cards, so you can slap in a 256 gig card to rapidly expand and fit in plenty more media. When it comes to the battery life, however, the standard Blackberry Key2 should be superior to the LE version. It's got 3,500 mAh cell compared with the LE edition's 3,000 mAh cell. So far, however, touch wood, it looks like you'll just about make it through the day with the LE. And they both support Quick Charge 3.0 when it comes time to power back up. So what about the camera tech? Well, as you can see here, both of these Blackberry blowers rock a dual lens rear snapper. In the case of the standard Blackberry Key2, you get a 12 megapixel primary lens, f1.8, and that's backed by another 12 megapixel secondary lens, f2.6. The specs have been pared back slightly for the Blackberry Key2 LE, however. You get a 13 megapixel primary lens, but that's f2.2, so not quite as good in those low light conditions, and that's backed by a more basic 5 megapixel secondary lens, and that one's f2.4. If we dive on into the camera app, you'll see that there's not a huge amount of difference between the two in terms of features and general setup, however. As you can see, you've got fast toggles like the HDR mode up top, and you do get your bonus camera modes in both cases as well. Good bit of portrait mode action, of course, because they both have that dual lens setup, so you can get a nice crisp shot of your subject and nice blurry bokeh style backgrounds. If you jump on into the video, you can shoot up to 4K resolution video on both of these smartphones as well. As you can see there, 4K at 30 frames per second, and you also have a full HD 1080p option at 60 frames per second. And there's also a bit of VIS, bit of digital video stabilization on both of these handsets as well, although of course once you hit that 4K level, you can basically forget about it. And they both support the locker mode as well, which just allows you to take a snap using the fingerprint sensor instead of the shutter button, and that just gets whisked off straight to the locker app, so if you're taking any more sensitive photos, then you don't have to worry about it. Of course, photo quality will be superior on the standard Key 2 thanks to the fact that it's got that higher aperture setup and that more dedicated secondary lens as well. There's no difference when it comes to the front facing camera tech, however. It's an 8 megapixel snapper on both of these, in both cases fixed focus as well. So as you can see there, it just latches onto your face and then you can take a shot nice and easy. And that right there, in a nutshell, is the Blackberry Key 2 LE versus the original Blackberry Key 2. So a bit of a difference in price. The original Key 2 is 579 quid compared with the £350 Blackberry Key 2 LE, so quite a considerable drop in price there. And as you can see, the specs aren't massively different. In terms of the performance, there's not a huge amount in it. Slightly smaller battery, of course, and you do get the pared down camera tech on the LE. However, the software is essentially the same. The overall experience remains pretty damn solid. So let us know in the comments below, are you tempted to spring for the full fat Blackberry Key 2? Are you going to save yourself some pennies and get the Key 2 LE instead? Or are you going to get neither? Say, stuff you Blackberry, I'm going to grab something else. Definitely be great to hear your thoughts, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest mobile tech. Cheers everyone, love you, bye!